start off with the introduction and then have a discussion. Om Ajnanatisya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Dhammayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Tadanam Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sarunarunakam Vedantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Vartana Saritam Krishna Chaitanya Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sakaruna Kalita Shri Krishna Radhanamsya He Krishna Karya Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagadpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Namaste Kanchana Gordam Kirtale Vrindavaneshwari Vishmanu Sute Devi Ramani Hari Vanchakalpadurvayasya Prakasanduvayacha Varidanam Pavnebhyo Vaishvebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham Karoti Vachanam Namaste Yattapratam Namaste Shri Guru Namo Om Vishnaya Krishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gopalika Charani Nirvishesha Srimati Swami. So I wanted to start off with slightly unconventionally, with actually a take from Greek mythology. This is about a king by the name of Sisyphus, and a powerful king, but it had bad habits: ego, selfishness. So he upset the Greek gods to the extent. So I'm condensing a very large story to sentence, because I just want to get a message out of it. So he upset the Greek gods to the extent that they crushed him. The punishment they gave him was that he was to take a rock and then roll it up a hill. So when the rock reached the top of the hill, then it would roll down. And then he would have to roll it back. And that was his punishment, to do it further. So he would roll up the rock would roll down, and then he would have to keep doing it again and again. So this actually, later on, it became one of the topics of philosophical discussion about the nature of assurances. So a philosopher, Albert Camus, he kind of extended this a little bit, saying that what if that king was given three choices? And so this is a question that I will go to you and Gopi and from you. So what is the question? The king was given three choices by the gods. One was the one that was given, that he would roll the rock up, it would roll back again, and he would keep doing that for eternity. The second was that he was given a number, saying that after 1,000,000 years, if he had rolled the rock over, his punishment would come to an end, and he would go to heaven. And the third was that one of the times that he was rolling up the rock, the punishment would get over. Maybe it could be the very next time he rolled, maybe it could be the 100th time, maybe it could be the millionth time. He would not know. But one of the times that he would roll up the rock, come to an end and you go to heaven. So the philosophical question over here is that if king was given these three choices, what would you think would be his preferences in terms of 1, 2, and 3?
Three.
Go ahead, Navya.
I'm not the king, so if I would have given that suggestion, I would have choose for third one, third options, because I never know. But if having an understanding, the God is the supreme controller, so I will surrender myself. Whatever you think better for me, you do. So I'm doing whatever even I'm doing. And if the mercy will be there, then we never know. But I should not be meant to do the mercy, so that way will happen first time, second time. But leaning on Krishna, I'm right with that practice.
Thank you. Thank you. Sure. Who else? You have your answer?
Yeah, I was saying the third choice same because in that you are leaving everything to the God in that case, and it may happen maybe the next time instead of the millionth time. So at least
Maybe think of it from the perspective of the king. Right? The king is obviously not a devotee.
So I came to the same assessment, but more rational thinking, which is one, indeterminate, that's not good. Million years, there's no chance I'm going to live till million years. So the lesser of the two is the third one, which is hopefully one of the time it happens, hopefully it's less than a million.
Yeah, million is a long number. It's a big number, but I would choose 2 because there's certainty that it's going to end and I'll go to heaven.
Okay. Very good.
Given that he was not a very good king and not a devotee, he would say, no, I don't follow him. Or he only has 3 choices, then doesn't matter.
Anything else?
Sorry. I will try to add one point. Even I have not thought kings should be a devotee kind of. But first one, second choice, it is too, not anything you can imagine. But even a king being not a good whatever. But in dangerous situation, this kind of situations, do or die. So our intention is okay. I don't have to. So even if we leave something, maybe to make whatever is happening there, then what it does. Okay, kind of.
Okay, this one?
for the discussion. I would because I've been cursed, the king has been cursed by the God.
Yeah.
So I believe he must have realized that and he accepted the punishment. So life is short, so he would go, I want to at least in this life, I want to continue as long as I can.
Yeah. That's an interesting perspective. Yes, sir.
If death is not a problem, Prabhu, I was just thinking that the difference between like the eternity option and the random chance option is that like with the eternity option, I know my fate is sealed, right? I'm not worried about that. But if I'm like every day hoping today might be the day, after like 100 days, I'll probably be very sad. But if I know it's like a million, or I know it's not going to happen, then like I've kind of made my peace. But the other way, I'm always like coming back for more.
Very good. So actually that is what the philosophical debate is generally settled as. Because you look at it from the perspective of the king, every time he would be rolling the rock of the hill, he would have this hope in his heart that maybe this will be the last time. Every time it would fail, that hope would get replaced by disappointment. So it's not a matter of the fact that I have this possibility of exiting earlier or later. It's a question of the certainty of assurance. And the only thing that is worse than failure is the expectation of success, not materialism. Right? So you go in, sometimes the students will do that. Right? You write an exam, goes with a lot of anxiety. So this philosophically, this narration talks about the nature of real assurances. If one gets ambiguous assurances, they are actually worse than no assurance. Right? They say that false hope is actually worse than no hope. Because the nature of false hope is that it will get you expecting something to happen. That's the beauty of Bhagavad Gita. That Krishna does not give ambiguous assurances over there, and he has to give, because look at the crowd that Krishna is working with. It's a tough crowd. It's a difficult crowd. People who are who have adapted to living in such adverse circumstances. Like this today morning, I was reading an interesting incident about there's a small island in the sub-Antarctica, very, very cold and inhospitable. And in 1870, it's a French island. In 1870, a farmer thought that I will colonize this island. Okay, so he went there, he took with him some livestock, which included 6 cows, and lived there for a few years, and then realized that he can't make it. So he came back, right? And he left the cows there to die. 130 years later on, and that island is like off the map more or less. 130 years later on, an expedition happened to go over there. And they found that those 6 cows had not only survived, there were literally thousands of cows in that island. So this was an island where there was no fresh water, no lakes, no rivers. There was no the climate there was freezing for most of the time. But somehow they not only had they adapted, they had actually flourished over. The 6 cows had become thousands of cows. So in a way, that is the nature of the conditioned jiva. That when we look at it from the eyes of the scriptures, then this material world is very inhospitable. Even the soul does not even know how to survive in this world. There is all that symptoms of that causes anxiety, that causes pain and suffering to the soul. Yet the jivas they're flourishing over here. So that's the nature of the adaptability of the soul. And that is what Krishna in his supreme wisdom, that is what he leverages when he gives assurances. So and there are numerous assurances, but I just classified them into a few prominent ones. And I wanted to use an analogy to kind of more clearly explain these assurances. So the analogy is that think of a large well, and at the bottom of the well there are people who are trapped. Okay? And somehow or else they're getting by. It's in a hospitable condition. It's not very limited light, overcrowding, but somehow they are surviving. And there is a man that comes at the top, and then starts saying, over here things are very good. There is a lot of sunlight, and you can actually travel so much. You're not limited to this world. Unlimited resources. What do you think will the man in the well say to the man at the top?
Get us out.
Sorry?
Get us out.
Get us out? Like maybe one thing? What else? It's like in Hindi they say, right? That we are here in this terrible situation. We are out over there and you're telling us all about the sunshine and the birds and the flowers over there. You're just making us feel bad over here. Come down over here. Help us from where we are. That's the beauty of Bhagavad. So if you look at the Abrahamic religions, like if you look at Bible, or the Quran or the Torah, what do they start with? Their front word beginning. They start with there was the word and the word was with God. Or there was light. The God said, let there be light. So they start off with this mystical description of the spiritual world. What does the Gita start with? It starts with the battlefield where there are the three C's that are happening here: chaos, confusion, and carnage. Right? Arjuna is confused. What's going to happen? There is chaos, there is going to be a war, and carnage. There is going to be people. Nothing to do with the spiritual world. Even by material conditions, it is an absolute situation. That is where Krishna speaks about it. Right? So, while he's sitting at the top, he actually comes down into the deepest crevices of the well and says, I know where you are. I understand where you are, and let me help. So the first set of assurances that he gives is how to reduce your suffering in the well. You are at the bottom of the well, you are suffering. Don't worry about what's there outside. Let's see how we can make things better for you. What's the first instruction? Second instruction, Krishna gave, Natvayam Gatu Nashamatam Jana. The Chevana Vudashama Sarvayam. First he says, don't worry. You are not going to die. You are eternal. Your body might change, but your existence will never cease. So, he first takes away the most primordial fear in a living entity, which is the existential fear. That's the very first instruction Krishna gives, the first 30 verses that he speaks, that takes away that fear. Next, he takes away the fear of the kind that we were talking about, Sisyphus, which is the fear of actions that Krishna gave of unfulfilled expectations.
You have the right to do your duty, don't worry about the results.
Very good. So, what is the principle that is? What is the underlying principle that is talking about?
The principle is that result is not my control.
Okay. Good. Anybody else? What is the principle over here that is being talked about? The verse is exemplifying that principle. There is a principle that Krishna wants to make it with, which runs, it's a thread that runs right through the entire Gita from the 2nd chapter to the 18th chapter.
Don't get attached to the fruits of the
Sorry?
Don't get attached.
Very good. Detachment. Right. That's right.
Krishna, so like, do your duty and whatever you can achieve, I'll vision that and according to that, then I add something to my person.
Okay. So the root cause of all the suffering in this world is attachment to the results. What is the biggest cause of frustrations? Expectations. The more expectations you have, the greater the frustration will be. That is why all material endeavors, whether you succeed or you fail, end up in either less or more suffering. Even if you succeed, your expectation is, I should have succeeded more. Or the person sitting next to me has succeeded more than I. Frustration. If you fail, why did I not succeed? I was more qualified than this person, I should have succeeded. So Krishna is taking away that from the equation. Not the sorry, he says that just do your duty. And as long as you do this duty without any expectation of enjoying the results or attachment to the work, then no suffering or worry. Right? So with these two assurances, Krishna is now saying that if you want, you can happily live in the world. If you so want. But Krishna is Krishna. He doesn't leave us over there. So then the man at the top of the well says that you have now a comfortable life. You know your eternal. You are practicing detachment, but things over here are better. So Krishna does not start speaking about the spiritual world till the 7th chapter. Or the 6th chapter, he tries to help us create some level of comfort in the situation that we are. From the 7th chapter, when he talks about 7th chapter is the knowledge of the absolute, he then starts talking about what's there outside. So the person from down the well looks up and says, but I'm following your instructions, I'm happy over here. Right? So then Krishna says that, I'll do the Sanskrit just because it's sweet. Mam peti punarjanma dukhalayam ashashvatam narupavanti mahatmana samsiddhim param gataha. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest perfection. So now you see that he is doing a comparative analysis of the best of the material world with the spiritual world. That even if you have the best situation in the material world, he says that this is dukhalayam ashashvatam. That dukhalayam means that this is a house of misery. Ashashvatam means the person might say, but I do have happiness. Krishna says ashashvatam. It's temporary. It will come and go. Right? So this happiness that you are experiencing, it pales in comparison with what you might experience over here, and even that happiness is just temporary. And the second verse, the famous verse, Prabhupada quoted is Lokama Bhuvanan Loka Punarabhitana Arjuna Mamuketi Tupampera Punarjavana. That from the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of mystery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains my abode, Vasana Panti, never takes birth again. So then the person at the well will say, okay, I accept that happiness over here is fleeting. There is a place over here I trust you. That is much more blissful. But this is a very deep well. Okay. How am I going to traverse it? I don't have the strength to climb out of that well. So then Krishna gives his second set of assurance. So he says, Ananya Siddhayantos Mam Yejana Parivasate Tesham Nitya Bhuktana Yoga Kshema Vahamya. So what's the assurance that Krishna is saying? You try and I will help you. Yoga Kshema Vahamya. That yes, the well is deep, the rope is slippery. You may think you may fall down on your own, and probably on your own you will fall down. But aham yoga kshema ahamya aham. But I am there. You are weak, I am not weak. I am strong. So I will help you. So then the man says, but what if I start climbing the well and then initially I have some strength, but then I lose strength. So then I am going to be dangling in the middle. Right? I will not have whatever comfort that I have built myself inside the well, and I am far away from the top of the world. Right? So Krishna gives us third assurance. Mat chitta sarva durgani mat prasadat karasyasi atha chetvam ahankaram na shrosashi vinash esi. Where Krishna says that if you become conscious of me, you will pass through all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. So Krishna is not even willing to entertain the possibility of failure. Right? The person at the bottom of the well is concerned, and rightly so. Right? We all have this concern when we start making progresses in spiritual life. Like sometimes we feel that we may lose a material edge. Sometimes we feel that our support system, we might lose our support system. We have all these friends or family, and now we're looking at from a different paradigm. So it's like Arjuna asked the question, like that when a cloud breaks away from a larger crowd and is not able to attach itself to another cloud, then it's like a small ribbon cloud that can be blown away by the wind. Sixth chapter, where Yogi Arjuna asked this question, and Krishna says not going to happen, right? Because I am there. I am there to help you. But what if I become lazy? What if I lose faith in you? Then still don't worry. Api che sudaracha vedantema sadhureva yamam. Even if you are api che sudaracha, even if you are the most rascal person, like duracha is bad, sudaracha is badly bad, very, very bad. Sadhureva, that you will still be considered to be a sadhu. Why? Because that root is connected to you. What more assurances can you get? Right? So think of it that you're going and applying for a job, and the person is saying that I'll make sure that you become the CEO of this company. Most of us will say, I work hard, I do this. But here, what we are saying is, yeah, but I'm lazy. I will not work. So no, I'll help you. Yeah, but you might help me, but I will not take her. So no, don't worry. I will complete you in all this. And then the final assurance that Krishna gives that Neha Vikramanashasti Tatvaya Vidyate Swalpasya Dharmasya Trayate Mahato Bhaya. That if everything fails, that you refuse to even take the help that I am giving you. Whatever little that you climb up the rope, you will never fall down. Even if you climb 1 meter, that 1 meter is reserved. You climb 50 meters, that 50 meter is reserved. When next time around you come to the consciousness that you want to ascend, all the progress that you have made, I personally guarantee you, I will preserve. That is why Bhagavad Gita is there are 500 million copies of Bhagavad Gitas that have been printed and sold. The word karma is the most recognized religious word in the whole world, amongst all the languages. Whether it is Chinese or Ukrainian or Russian or whatever language, they may have a different. They said there are three possible understandings of karma. They may have one of the three understandings of karma. Right? It's not that even if you go to India, you ask a person what karma is, 9 times out of 10 will give us their personal understanding of karma. But they recognize the word karma. This is why. Because which God will be so munificent that he is willing to He is willing to start at where we are, stay with us in all the struggles, and ensure guarantee that we reach the top. Now, in concluding, I'll ask you that in return for all this, Krishna asks for one assurance from us. I mean, almost everything is giving us a free ride. Okay, do this, but he still asks us for one assurance. What is that assurance?
Love takes.
Full surrender to him. What else?
Love.
But
Sure. Yeah.
Abandon all varieties of religion.
Abandon all varieties. Somebody else? No?
We're just saying love, devotion.
Love, devotion. Sarvadharma Pratyaya. So, all he is asking us is to stay connected. That's all he's asking. Right? If you look at there is a separate class on. So this was a class on assurances that Krishna gives. There is also a class on the threats that Krishna gives in the Bible. Right? He gives a lot of. There are a lot of threatening things also. Right? That you will be destroyed, you will be no hope. 16th chapter full of threats that he's giving. But they're all between these two things. Between those who surrender and those who do not. When he starts giving instructions to Krishna and Arjuna in the second chapter, the one condition that he raised, the famous verse 241, Vyasatmika buddhi ek hai guru nagana, Varushakananta sa buddhi hai Vyasatmika. Right? Vyasatmika buddhi ek hai guru nagana. Just a take. Right? With that, you will succeed. He begins in 241, he ends in 1866. Sarvam Pratyaya Ma Ekam Sharanam. Vyasatmika buddhi ek hai guru nagana. It is one thing that it says. Just, there is a rope over here. Just take that rope. Don't try and make steps for yourself to get out of the well. Don't try and build a rocket that will take you out of the well. You know, don't go after the demigods. Don't go after these false promises. I have brought the rope. All you have to do is catch hold of that rope. If you don't catch hold of that rope, I can guarantee you will never come out of it. Right? So that's the name of that Krishna knows. Okay? So with this I'm going to end and see if there is any discussion in 5-10 minutes.
Is it building confidence in the person who is trying to, climb up the roof?
I heard the second part of it. So just repeat.
Is it building confidence?
Is it building is what building confidence?
Confidence in the person who doesn't want to come up, but he's building confidence in the person. Krishna is building confidence in the person to climb up. So
By giving all these assurances.
yes.
Absolutely. That's what he's doing. That he's giving this actual real guarantees, because for the person at the bottom of the well, it's an intimidating situation. Like, even though it's like the cows on that island, harsh condition, but they survive, they flourish. That's what we are. We're living in inhospitable conditions, but we have survived and flourished over here since time immemorial. So, changing the status quo, very good. So Krishna gives all this guarantees to build their confidence. One step better, one step better.
I would like, wonderful class, loved it. I would like you to summarize it if you don't mind it. The first one you said of assurances was about that is you are eternal, right? That you're not going to die. And the second one you said is about.
So the first, as you rightly said, is the assurance exists, addresses the existential crisis.
Okay.
You're not going to die. The second assurance addresses your current real crisis at the bottom of the world. The ongoing frustration because of unfulfilled expectations, which is by practicing detachment. Right? Then Krishna gives assurances of getting out of the problem. Right? He says that even if you don't have the strength, I will provide you with the strength. Then Krishna gives the assurance that if you start and you fail, I will preserve the progress that you make. Right? And finally, assurance Krishna says that success is guaranteed. You will pass the exam. No, not supposed. Right? And in return, one assurance from us. When Krishna speaks of Bhagavad Gita, then Arjun gives, that's the assurance Arjun gives to Krishna. That now my confusion has been dispelled and I am ready to do as you asked me to do. That's the assurance that Krishna is looking for us.
Thank you.
This,
Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Your class gave a very new perspective about Bhagavad Gita. Means we learn about these verses, but the connection you made between this someone in the well and the material world, it's so relatable and so good. And so I'm really grateful for this wonderful class and all the steps that you have said. And I feel like these are the steps to come out of the well, and it's very, very practical and something we can easily connect to. And it, to me, like I never thought of Bhagavad Gita with this. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. It's really amazing. I hope we can get the recording of your class to hear it again.
I think
Will it be available?
it's very
Yeah, I'll put it on YouTube or can I share the link?
Thank you so much.
anything of candles. If there are some more questions, we'll stop here. Thank you so much for your attendance. Vanchakal